Personal, because the devil is a liar. I'm telling you the truth. Hey, it's all in what you do. Hey, some things you gotta do. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate coming in. We going live tonight, and we gonna talk about this tonight. We gonna talk about this tonight, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And what a coincidence, man. We got the Dallas Cowboy great Everson Walls coming in, man. They're all pro cornerback, man. It'll be dope to have them on this Super Bowl week. So we got 4 former NFL players coming on this week as guests. And yeah, man, we're just gonna rock out and have a great time with it, man. But let's jump into this. Let me I'm gonna talk about it, but I'm gonna just show y'all so y'all have a reference point that y'all want to go to. All right, y'all see it. Errol Spence, Danny Garcia does 2.6 million and some change. Meanwhile, if you go to the bottom, you see Canelo did 2.3. Here it is right here, 2.3 with 11,000 tickets sold. You understand what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put that in perspective, man. And I'm tired of I've been on this soapbox for a long time that black athletes, black promoters, and even black advisors, Al Heyman, y'all give credence just because the business of boxing says you're supposed to. You know, I heard last week that they offered Canelo $25 million to fight Charlo. I heard that. And I've been telling y'all, Errol Spence is a bigger star than he is. Nah, no, he ain't. Nah, he ain't this. You see what he did to Mikey Garcia? Mikey Garcia is not making $7 million without fighting Errol Spence. You understand? And the ticket sales proves that Errol Spence is a much bigger star. And I think Errol Spence needs to start moving and walking it like he talking shit. Walk it like he sell it. You know what I mean? He got to start being loud and boisterous because he deserves it, man. He deserves all the hard work, man. And I think the business of boxing needs to be respecting him as such. And more importantly, the fans need to start respecting this man as such. Because who's the king of boxing? Canelo. No, it's Earl. He's the pound for pound best fighter, and he sells the most tickets and got the largest gate of the year last year. Come on now. And I think that the boxing world needs to overstand that PBC needs to do a damn campaign. You know what I mean? Because it's far too long. People say, oh, who's the... No, he don't sell tickets like that, man. He ain't. I'm going to show y'all something that I read. Hopefully, man. Oh, man, it's gone. It's gone. I got to check my history for it. There's no way I'll find it. But there's an article. Y'all can Google it. But he got declining numbers. And that's the truth of the matter, man. Canelo has... Maybe I'll find it and do a separate video on that. How about that? You know? But Canelo has declining numbers, man. And that's why HBO released him. That's why DAZN restructured his contract. And they're still overpaying for him. You know, they want that Triple G fight as bad as they can have it. And it's probably a great time to have it now because they can get those Dallas, Texas prices, you know, because people aren't going to Vegas to watch Triple G Canelo, not in the numbers in which they want it. And the economy can't support that fight for that gate. So I think they can get the push by having those Dallas, Texas prices. But I'm proud of Earl. You know, I've seen his first fight. It was at Fantasy Springs, and I look forward to seeing him fight sometime in the future. And shout out to Earl for doing that for Jaquan, man, on the channel. It's just astounding, man. But I think we need to start acknowledging Earl. In 2020, Earl sold the most tickets. Excuse me. I stand corrected. He had the largest gate coronavirus. You understand what I'm saying? Because D and Tyson Fury did the biggest gate. It was close to $18 to $20 million, right? And I remember I had to pay over $500 for my ticket. You know what I mean? So, but I made a lot more money selling tickets than I did. So, but anyhow, anyway, um, I just say this: y'all got to start putting respect on your own self name. All right. And when these fighters start doing interviews, y'all need to start saying Errol Spence outsold Canelo. Errol Spence outdrew Canelo. Errol Spence had a larger gate than Canelo. Isn't Texas the closest place to Mexico in America? Don't they say that? Oh, he had 25,000, he had 50,000, he did this, he did that. Well, there's a man named Errol Spence down in Dallas, Texas that's moving more weight than him. All right. And the same and thank God it was just one article, so I didn't have to go digging up facts and facts and facts for y'all to say, "Oh, don't trust that, don't trust that." Well, it's one article, you know what I mean? And now you got to deal with it. And now, what I want to say to y'all is, stop chasing that man, and put some respect on Earl Spence's name. You understand what I'm saying? Um, and he's the cash cow, and Jordan came in the barbershop, thank you, and he was right. Don't give up what you've already earned, and he's earned the right. Sean Porter, uh, he's cultivated his markets. He's cultivated his market since 2017 was his first fight. I was there. I lost money on the fight because he fought. The whole card was Mexican, except, or, excuse me, the whole card was Spanish, except for Earl Spence. So it was like no interviews, but Earl Spence. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's another thing. The business of boxing is so bamboozled and fooled. They think if you go to Texas, you got to have a Mexican card. They think you got to have a Mexican versus, excuse me, a Latino versus a Latino, Spanish speaking versus Spanish speaking. No, man, you can do black and Latino. You can mix up the undercard. That was the one thing I didn't like. Showtime and Al Heyman did that night. That Ocampo undercard was trash. You know, like it was. You know, it was nothing to support Earl Spence. He did all that on his own, and the fact that PBC is offering 25 million dollars for Canelo, why let the zone go bankrupt? If you're gonna pay him 25 million dollars, shit, don't look at your black athletes and that's has a larger gate that sells more tickets, and don't give him $25 million. This is the business. Y'all gonna say, "Oh, Al Heyman is this?" No, call a spade a spade. Earl Spence sold 3,000 more tickets. Now I don't know what the numbers are, but the numbers are the numbers. So I'm comparing analysis, okay? Um, and he had a larger gate, 300,000 and 3,000 more tickets, I believe. So you got to put some respect on that, and that's what I'm basing it off of. So if Al Heyman wants to offer him a 3-fight, $75 million deal, well, give that shit to Earl Spence. He deserves it. And that's just the truth. Canelo's not moving weight like people tell he is. And I've been telling y'all that for 2 years, because if he was moving that much weight, HBO would not have released him. Listen, if I'm an executive and I don't have to do nothing but hire people, excuse me, I'm going to repeat that. If I am an executive at HBO and all I have to do is hire people, put people in place, and I get 100 million and I clear 15, $20 million, I'm gonna keep that going. If I clear $10 million, I'm gonna keep it going. But those numbers are lies. They haven't been the same. You understand? And the only way we go further, the only way we move forward, is if we, one, financially support our own. I'm not no direct order, right? But I'm saying financially support our own, and wear that jacket. Wear the jacket that we're selling these tickets. Wear the jacket that be proud. No, Earl Spence is out selling Canelo. I told y'all a long time ago, one of the reasons why I did a video on it. that Canelo didn't want to come to the PBC was because his pay-per-view numbers would have been exposed. And that's the truth. Errol Spence is the king right now. And you know what I mean? Walk it like you talk it, big homie. You know what I mean? He's kind of quiet, man. He needs to go on a PR tour. You know what I mean? You only got to Earl, you should go on a PR tour, man. And it's Zoom too. You ain't got to leave your house. You ain't got to fly to the Breakfast Club or nothing like that. You know what I mean? You need to go to the Breakfast Club, the barbershop. You need to go back to the motherfucking All in the Smoke, whatever that is, and TMZ and all that shit, man, because people need to know. And I think Earl, this need to be one of Earl's talking points. I sold more than Canelo. I outdrew Canelo in the same state with the same regulations. Ticket per ticket, he sold more. Do the math. So, anyways, man, um, that's all, man. That's all I got, man. And I want us to own our power. The same way Floyd said, "Oh, if you come into Vegas, you got to pay. I'm taxing you. You want me to fight in Vegas, my new home city? Oh, I'm taxing you. You want to give Al Heyman, you want to give Canelo $25 million when I outsold him ticket wise, outgated him, if that's a word, outperformed him at the gate. There we go. My performances are much higher. You got to put some respect on my name. And here's the checks and balances for all y'all motherfucking tied into Fred Hayden. Same respect Al Heyman got to put on the same respect Bob Arum got to put on it. Because guess what? I'm gonna tell Bob Arum when he come in the barbershop. Well, Errol Spence sold more tickets than Canelo. Errol Spence had a larger gate than Canelo, with the same rules and regulations. And truth be told, it might have been easier rules and regulations because Errol Spence fought closer to COVID. So let's just call it a buck, man. Let's just tell the truth. Business is business. They ain't giving no black discounts, but they overpaying for the Latinos. I'm tired. I'm not tired of it because my life still goes on. I got beautiful kids and all the above. I'm just saying it's time for us to start acknowledging our power. Tyson Fury sells 1,500 tickets. Deontay Wilder sells out Barclay. They meet. Tyson Fury sells. What? I'm confused. It makes no sense. They gave away for Mexican Independence Day. WBC gave him a Mexican belt, and they didn't sell no tickets. Come on now. I thought he's the heavyweight champion of the world. Couldn't market him. So let's call a spade a spade. So we're gonna start putting some respect, and I'm eager to hear Bob Arum answer the question. I'm eager to understand how PBC. I'll say PBC because if I say Al Heyman, y'all motherfuckers get up in arms. I'm eager to hear why PBC offers Canelo $25 million, but don't treat Errol Spence the same way. Just asking. The numbers are the numbers. Those are real hard numbers. Those aren't speculatory information. And guess what? They sold more pay-per-views as well. You know how I know? Because strictly common sense. Errol Spence was straight pay-per-view model, and if you had the zone, all you had to do was click open your app. So I want to know how many pay-per-views he sold. You know, because there's a generation that don't deal with the apps. You know what I mean? That don't have a smart there's a few grandparents out there that's not spending $500 on a new TV. So anyways, man, it's just where I'm at with this, man, and I think it's time, man. It's time. So anyhow, man, congratulations to Errol Spence. Well deserved. I've been saying it since day one, and old media reported it. So now the pendulum in the business of boxing needs to start swinging, because 1 is Deontay Wilder, 2 is Errol Spence. Based off of what we saw in 2020. 1 is Deontay Wilder, 2 is Errol Spence. How about y'all repeat after me? All the reporters, all the fighters, repeat after me. Number 1 is Deontay Wilder. Number 2 is Errol Spence. Period. And if they disagree with you, show them the article, show them the numbers. Same state, different city. Barbershop Conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Talk to y'all soon. Peace.